Hi, everybody.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to TFT, Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with
Oberon.
Me, Banshee. Welcome to our monthly modality message for the season of Pisces.
That's right. The sun has moved into Pisces, and now we will do this modality reading. We do it every month. The modalities are a mixture of things, but they are basically not the same as the elemental signs of the zodiac that most people identify with.
But it includes, like, 4 signs in each of the modalities.
Right, from each of those elemental correspondences.
You're right. So we do this at the start of the new astrological season. And so we want to wish our Pisces friends a very happy birthday.
And the modality energies are really about how we engage with the outer world, how we utilize our energies as we interact with others. So it's really kind of a little different critter.
And I'll just say once again that this reading is good for the entire Pisces season. So we'll be back to do a new one when it turns into my sign of Aries.
So we're going to start with the cardinal signs. And the cardinal signs are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn.
Well, let me talk about the positives while you shuffle this, girl. So...
if I can.
So basically, the cardinal signs are the initiators. We get things started. We're active. We're quick. We have drive, ambition, vim, and vigor. We are not slackers, though I do have a lot of lazy moments, I will say. We are enthusiastic. We have a zest for life. We are clever. And maybe more important than anything, at least for Aries, we want to win.
Well, now that I'm done shuffling, you can shuffle while I talk about the negatives of the cardinal signs. And there aren't many, but they are notable. They are, in fact, too domineering, self-centered, forgetting about others. That happened very recently, didn't it? As they focus on their stuff, they often don't finish what they start.
Guilty on that last count. Boy, yeah, I can't wait for your sign. Mr.
I know. Paybacks are a banshee.
You know it. All right.
All right. So card 1.
Oh, are you
question 1 for each reading.
My cup. Thank you.
Is what is the primary focus for the cardinal signs or modality in this month ahead?
Well, I like it already. I win. It's the 6 of Wands, upright.
Ah, nice.
Yeah. So the primary focus is what to do with all that success we're going to have, right? It's going to be a successful season. We may actually be able to march to victory on something. And we should not forget about others that have helped us along the way.
Well, in fact, the 6 of Wands sort of calls into the idea that everybody does seem to recognize you're in the winner's circle. So the focus is on you and how you relate to this external world, because that's what the card's energy is about, is you have won a great achievement, and I guess you want to make sure, but maybe you don't really have to work at it, to realize that the world know it too.
The primary focus is celebrating too, celebrating that success. You know, big or small, whatever it is, cardinal signs, you need to celebrate it.
All right, so card 2 is the role that your interactions will play in the month ahead, cardinals.
Well, maybe to get there after all, we aren't going to be playing nice with others. It's the Magician reversed. Or we have to deal with some shady characters.
Well, the role that your others may play may realize that you're not exactly, being upfront about things, that you may be trying to do sleight of hand kind of stuff that is disinformation. And I'm not sure why this is happening, Cardinals. It just may seem to be that you feel, this is a situation where people don't necessarily need to understand the full pinnings of your power or your projection.
be wary that you're not doing, you're not faking it till you make it. You get the success through trickery, because you know what? It'll probably be a short-term success if so.
Right, so you almost get the feeling that this is probably more likely about your career or workplace kind of situation, where maybe you are positioning yourself towards others, and maybe there's a little bit of deceit going on.
Sounds like it. They talk about, well, also think about sports, competitive sports as well. There's cheating that goes on in just about every sport. So, if you're doing something competitive, make sure everything is on the up and up.
Card 3 is the opportunities or challenges that the Cardinals will face in the month ahead and how best they can achieve them. Whoa.
It's the 5 of Swords reversed.
Run. Get away.
The challenge is not to get into fights you can't win. How about that?
Yeah.
Don't get into conflicts. Don't be pulled into other people's conflicts that are a no-win situation.
This is kind of interesting, because I almost felt that the other way of looking at the Magician would be saying, too, that your interactions with others show that maybe someone else is being the deceitful or trickery one. And so this card could be speaking to that. This card could be saying that what you are dealing with somewhere, whether it is your workplace or somewhere else, suggests you have no power differential, and you should as well leave, that nothing good could really come of this.
Well, I like what you're saying there. It's a really interesting thing, because even though you have allies and people who helped you get to where you are, there are also those who are jealous, who want to bring you down, and will use trickery to do so. And, it could bring about a conflict.
All right, so finally, card 4 then. And card 4 is how you can use your modality superpowers to best advantage.
Well, you're going to have to get things started, all right, but you're going to have to think outside the box. It's the Hierophant reversed.
The Hierophant reversed.
Yes. So, whatever you do to this month, whatever you're involved in, success will come through out-of-the-box thinking, doing something extraordinary for you rather than your ordinary same old way of trying to forge ahead. I almost feel this speaks to the first card in some ways. It could speak to the conflict as well, but, I'm looking at this and thinking, what's the victory about? It probably came through some extraordinary ways of thinking or doing something.
And, sometimes that card can take the place of somebody who is basically, I'll say, toppling norms, but it could just be saying, sort of pointing out that sometimes norms do need to change, that sometimes it's either the out-of-box thinking, or it's just really challenging the way things are normalized, institutionalized in our world. And so this could be saying, that if this is a workplace about a particular way of doing something, all options could be open.
Yeah. It does seem to fit a picture of some sort rather than separate things going on for you guys this month, cardinal signs. I feel it's workplace related or some competitive kind of thing, if you're in business for yourself, for example, or you're just doing small things, hobbies, etc. You might be, having to deal with some stiff competition or jealousy with the success that you're having, and people will want to bring you down or have you get involved in things you should stay out of.
All right.
That's what we have for the Cardinals. Good luck with that.
That was sort of our recap too then.
Yeah.
All right.
Kind of
so you're
wanted
first.
to go quickly. So let's go to those darn fixed signs.
Oh.
But I'm sure you have a lot of good things to say about them, don't you? And who are the fixed signs, Mr. O?
All right. So let me extol about that. We are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, or Aquarius.
Yeah.
And we are steady, we are stable, we are determined, resolute, we are self-reliant, we forge ahead. This next part I don't know about. Calmly works on objectives. Well,
wink, wink.
Not if I've had too much coffee. Remembers those who've helped them. And Scorpios, remember, who have not. Persistence, concentration, powerful yet purposeful.
In their revenge.
In no wasted motions. All right. I am purposeful.
Well, what's wrong with these guys? What are their negatives? You know, they can be awfully stubborn. They can also be my way or the highway in their thinking. They tend to get stuck in their ways. Do they ever? And you know what? They believe they're always right.
You really had to struggle at that, didn't you? Because you know deep down inside, we are always right.
No. Cut that, Mr. O. All right.
So we are back at question 1 for the fixed signs. Their primary focus this month.
The Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands has been coming up a bit lately.
We are moving on.
Well, the primary focus for this month is lots of energy to burn. Are you going to use it on something? I hope so. So, focus it on what is most important and, then take care of the little things as you can.
The card suggests that there is a target or a focus and that you need to apply yourself to it. So it really is about saying what and how.
Yeah.
All right.
So, and also a lot of communication. So let's see.
That's true too,
about this next one and how it might fit in with
right,
that.
The role that your interactions with others will play, fixed signs.
Well, it's interesting. It's the Seven of Pentacles upright. So it's interesting because you have all this energy, but as far as your interactions with others go, there's kind of a slowdown or a pause here. Maybe you're pausing to take stock of, things in your life and trying to determine, if it's wise for you to be spending time with others right now. Maybe there's more important things that you have to take care of.
It's an interesting juxtapositioning because it sort of feels like you're waiting because you did this work prior in some way, whether that was, you're communicating, trying to influence things, trying to bring people towards a unified target or focus. And so right now your interactions are sort of like, I want to see what they're going to do with it. So this imagines you as possibly a type of team leader or a type of person who may be able to get others to work for them in some respect. And when I look at those signs involved, that kind of fits in a way.
It does fit in a way. I think that's fine. I think we have two scenarios here that some of you may be experiencing. And one is that, you're trying to figure out a way other people can help you grow what you're directing your energy towards in this month. And for other people, it may be that some of your stuff, like, for example, maybe spending too much time on social media, maybe doing some of these other things, might be impinging your ability to focus, and you're thinking about, I have to let this stuff go for a while so I can focus on what's important. Nice. So either way, I like that.
Card 3 is the opportunities or challenges that the fixed signs will face in this month ahead and how best they may resolve that.
Well, as far as the Scorpio goes, I can see it. It's the Queen of Cups reversed. So you just got to keep your emotions in check, you guys. The challenge is keeping your emotions in check as you direct all this energy on what you want. Not to get too upset if people aren't helping you, or not to get too upset, with your progress. Just keep focused on the prize.
Well, to different degrees, I look at those modalities, especially you, Scorpio, and say, hell hath no fury, like a fixed sign scorned. And of course, it works probably in different ways, but this is exactly what Banshee says, is that you are likely to have some problems and volatility. It could be because of the Mercury retrograde that will be unfolding. It could be other things going on. There's so much going on in the heavens, let alone being whatever modality you are. So try to keep a handle on outburst.
If you can. All right. So, how can you best use your modality? Superpowers in the month
to best
ahead.
advantage.
Wow. It's death reversed.
Death reversed.
Well, stop fighting change, which is what I think is going on here. Or stop holding on to things that you need to let go of. Like, for example, when I spoke here about, trying to socialize too much when you've got a lot on your plate right now, and you need to focus on that. You need to focus your energy on what's most important right now. And it may not be people, in my mind, but I can see where you went differently with this. How would you deal with that?
It seems to me you mostly have it right. I think that the real challenge for the fixed signs will be realizing that there's a tendency to want to continue holding back, like that Seven of Pentacles. That won't take you anywhere. It may just make the situation fester a little bit. You probably, have been worried about how you're expressing your emotionality. That maybe now is the time for you to really say, this is something I have to address, whether it's a change that's coming to you or whether it's one that you just realize you have to make.
Would I be right in suggesting with that card there, oh great teacher of mine, that maybe this is a sign for the fixed signs that they need to stay the course. They need to stay the course on what they're directing their energy towards, instead of making any kind of radical moves or changes.
So I agree with that. I think that's probably a likely scenario, but I'm wondering then if that's saying that they shouldn't pause too much here. Their interactions with others need to carry that energy through.
Well, or they need to let it go if it's interfering.
This sense of stagnation is probably because of falling back too much there.
Could be.
Don't know.
Yeah, it could be. So it's very interesting, but I almost feel like it's not necessarily staying stagnation. Number one, you need to let go of the things that are interfering with your focus. I think that's really key. So that's that part of the death card. And then number two is that you need to stay the course instead of making radical change at this time. Death reversed can be negative, but on some level, there's a positive thing here too, depending on what cards you get, indicating that maybe you need to keep your focus where it's at. You need to stay there.
And it's a lot of the star stuff that's affecting all this too, because Saturn is making its moves, and Saturn is always about, dealing with the consequences of change on some level, whether you do or whether you don't.
So that's what we have for you.
Right,
wow, I don't think we have to recount this.
We sort of did it in a way, more so even than the first time.
So where this is in your life could vary. If it is in your interpersonal world, that's one thing. But I sense here that it may be, because there's really a combination of all the cards. I sense here that maybe it could be more business and financial related, but not necessarily. Maybe this has to do with getting your house in order, your home life in order, something like that. But whatever you need to focus your attention on, do it. All right, let's move on to our friends, the Mutables. And since neither of us are mutable, we don't have anything bad to say. Well,
right. Other than the fact that we know they are, in fact, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces.
We don't get to pick on each other this time.
Nope.
And you will be shuffling first, so I'll go ahead and do the positives. So the Mutables, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, you guys know how to go with the flow. You're adaptable, you're flexible, you're versatile, you're highly resourceful, and you know how to change when necessary. So you can assume various personas as needed. You're well liked by others, you enjoy learning, playing fair, being diplomatic, trying to, keep the peace. You're sympathetic, you can see below the surface, you're selfless, and you are quick to help others.
All right, so there are, of course, negatorials. They try too hard. to please everyone. They can be wishy-washy or seem that way, and that makes them seem inconsistent and downright duplicitous at times. And mostly they can just stretch themselves to the breaking point because they're trying, too hard to be everything for everyone.
Okay.
All right, mutables, let's see what you got.
Well, all right then. The primary focus for the mutables in the month ahead.
And it's Judgment reversed.
Geez. Well, maybe you're taking, it's reversed. Maybe you're focusing too much on negative criticism that you've received recently, or maybe you're being too hard on yourself or others for that matter. One way or the other, I feel here that you're spending too much time in criticism as opposed to trying to offer constructive, advice. I mean, whether you're trying to think of constructive ways of moving forward or how you can maybe advise other people to do so. It doesn't pay to just be hypercritical to yourself or others.
Well, I almost wonder if another possibility is you begin to understand something that makes a big change, and it's not necessarily a good change, but it's a truth you kind of have to accept, and maybe it will, change your behavior going forward, or maybe it will blockade you in a certain way, realizing that, you don't feel there is progress to be made with this idea. So this is where you may be caught up also in your thinking too about where you're really going to be going.
It's kind of like what we see in the world today, what he just said. Basically, everybody trying to determine where they stand anymore. And should they change their opinions? Should they change their political perspectives or points of view? Have they been following the right course? And an inability to want to let go of their deeply held beliefs.
Oh, wow. You nailed that one. Okay, so card 2. And it's the role that your interactions with others will play.
Wow.
And it's the Fool upright.
How about taking that leap off the field? Maybe this is an idea for you to explore other challenging ideas or people that you maybe refused to do before. Maybe this is a time for you to take a chance and a risk on, something new.
Sometimes your willingness to kind of, give benefits of the doubt, so to speak, may open you up to this idea that you could possibly influence others to come along with you, to take that leap of faith, or to realize that, ultimately where you're going is ultimately going to be better.
Right. So I feel here that, this could shift because you are taking a chance and risk and opening your mind or heart to other things, and also taking action, trusting that, whatever happens, that it will be better for you for doing so. You learn one way or another.
Alrighty. So then next is...
Oh, I'm sorry. It's the opportunity or challenges you may face in the month ahead, mutables.
All right. And it's the upright Queen of Swords.
Wow.
So this is really good. There sort of is a sense of feeling like things really end up being very definable by your energy and projection, and that you can really, make almost anything work to your advantage. But if there are particular goals in particular, choices you have to make or decisions you have to make, it just sort of seems like your judgment is very favored. It's kind of interesting considering that
Doesn't
first card.
it?
Yeah.
And so I feel here that there is an opportunity for you, despite wallowing here, like I had spoke of, with harsh criticisms and self-criticisms or judging others. You have an opportunity this month to make wise choices and decisions. You have an opportunity to weigh things objectively objectively and look at all the facts and make the right choice for yourself based on that. This Queen is a really powerful influence considering everything we're seeing here so far.
There's a possible residual influence by those who maybe you touch in that stage there. You know, the sense of encouragement, whether it's specifically stated or not.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so how can they use their modality superpower? What?
Off with their heads. Ten of Swords upright. Well, I think this is saying really that the realization that no matter where this goes in the immediate, you know, something could be cleared away to find future growth. That there could be things that are still obstacles, but you will find a way to get beyond them somehow.
You know, you're very diplomatic. You're very go with the flow sort of thing. But the bottom line is Ten of Swords sounds like a betrayal. So I feel here that, you know, it's nice. Continue to be who you are, the nice, kind, diplomatic person you are, and recognize that others will still betray you. You know, there will still be others who will, you know, try to bring you down, and particularly for that in this day and age. I mean, you know, it seems like might makes right is the rule of the day lately. So be aware of that and use your superpowers to be a force for good.
It is coming out of sort of left field in a way, and so of course we are assuming that you're not that person. You're not the person doing the betrayals there.
Right.
I wonder if it is a slight callback to this card in the sense that something learned that changes things for you won't necessarily change outcomes that others have already sort of, you know, locked into place or will be moving towards.
You know, this isn't necessarily an outcome card, the last card. It's how you use your superpowers, right?
That's true.
And so I feel here that you can use your powers of diplomacy and whatever to try to reconcile the, you know, with those who just seem to be straying on a dark path. But I think this one needs to be gone over a little bit more detailed.
Alrighty.
So let's recap it. All right, so when we look at judgment reversed here, we could look at this idea of people unwilling to let go of some things that aren't really helping them anymore. They aren't useful ways of thinking, believing, or doing things, and yet they refuse to change and let it go. And so that is the focus, is how can you resolve this? And also, how can you stop being so critical of others, perhaps, or yourself? You know, for either beating yourself up for what you believe that maybe now you realize is not good for you, or beating up on others because you refuse to let this go.
It's a time to look yourself in the face and say truth there. And it may be that this isn't just you, or that it isn't you at all. Maybe what you have to deal with in your focused life.
And the Fool is saying there is a new, you know, you need to take a risk and step out of this, you know, comfort zone that's no longer comfortable for you. And this is with others too. So I feel here, this has to do with your communications with others. If you, your family and friends are constantly locked in conflict, or coworkers, or even in communities, you're constantly locking yourself in conflicts on social media or whatever, it's time to break that cycle and try something new. Get out of that comfort zone, get out of that silo, and do something new.
There's a sense too of really, really trying hard to approach this with a freshness about that, you know, trying to bring yourself to a very objective sense here so that you're not necessarily tainted by other influences without cause.
All of these things that are going on right now are not helpful. We're not solving problems by this constant arguing online and stuff like that. So it's time to really blaze a new trail here. And if you fail, you learn from it. So either way, this isn't helping. It's time to try something new.
But it looks like a good opportunity for you to really clear the matter and kind of rectify things. So take that opportunity. You know, the Queen of Swords really is very principled and very analytical. They can see their way through things. These energies will help you.
it's a good opportunity for you to think. And I mean, really think things through. Look at all aspects. Don't discount anything. Look at all aspects of the situation before you chart your course. And then you will make the right decisions for yourself.
So that's superpower.
Well, the superpower is, be diplomatic. Don't let people's betrayals. For example, if you are in a tribe that always believed one thing and suddenly you come up and question things, or, you go another way, expect it. Expect betrayal, anger, hostility in this day and age, because that is what's happening. But don't let that change who you are. Carry your light past that. Don't let it reduce you down to the level of people who like to bring people down.
I can't add anything to that. I think it's right.
I don't know. You guys got a very political sort of thing going on here, I feel, you mutables. And it can manifest in a lot of different ways in your personal life or in your work life, or obviously in what we're dealing with in society and what you're seeing every day if you're on social media. That's it.
All right.
All right. Well, that's it for this month. And again, I want to wish our Pisces friends a very happy month ahead. And everybody hope you enjoyed your readings. And we will be back again when the sun turns into the glorious sign of Aries.
We'll be here for it.
Okay, everybody. Take care. And we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.